So first off, the shift of 2012. I mean, there's always, whenever there's going to be a shift, there's going to be hype about it. Some of it positive hype, some of it negative hype. The thing is, by the time 2012 came, the shift had already occurred. So it's something that has been happening over the past couple thousand years. And 2012 is just sort of the apex of it that was then going to open the doorway on an energy level to the next phase, the next age of our reality. Now, just like with any type of gestation, there's going to become a period where things start to really pick up the pace. And so 2014, according to the spirit elders that I consult with, is that year where the acceleration process begins. It isn't just for 2014, but it's beginning now. And so people will often find that they feel like they're running out of time all the time because everything is speeding up. Vibrationally, energetically, it's all accelerating. Sometimes then, what that does is it kind of lights a fire under us so that we have to get up and move and do what we wanted to do, what we've always dreamt of doing. We have to accomplish the things we've always wanted to accomplish. And so that can lead to a lot of different changes that take place within our world, within our community, within our homes, within our relationships. I have been noticing that there's a lot of shifting going on now toward understanding that there isn't a better than or a less than when it comes to masculine and feminine energies. There's more of an understanding that we are equal. We might be different in our energies, but we all have both of those energies within us, and we don't have to become goddess worshippers in order to be spiritual, and we don't have to become God worshippers in order to become spiritual. We can honor the goddess and the god within all of us all the time as a harmonized unit, as one. And so that shifts the reality within our relationships, because then we start relating to our intimate partners much differently. We start relating to our sons and daughters much differently, to our mothers and fathers much differently. And so that has a positive effect. Now, of course, sometimes with any kind of acceleration or shift that goes on, there will be resistance, so it's not like it will be without conflict at times, but how the conflict gets resolved is different. It's much more harmonious, much more balanced and honoring of each other. So there's that aspect of it. When we look at our growing, well, some say growing economy, there's gradually a shift that's starting to happen where people are recognizing that the economy is a myth. It's completely based on things that are illusions. And so people are finding alternate ways of conducting trade with each other. And I truly believe that this will find its way into commonality again. So, at least I hope it will, because I think that that would be much more ideal. In the meantime, we all still have our mortgages to pay and things like that. But gradually, things like mortgages and such will dissipate, I believe. The acceleration process is something that also starts deep within ourselves. It's like our cells start stirring and percolating in a way. There's a beautiful shamanic expression that the person's cauldron has not boiled enough yet. We all have a deep cauldron of the soul within us. And when it boils, it's cooking something up within. And if it hasn't boiled quite enough, we're not quite ready yet, but we can feel the stirrings going on. And then once it's ready, once it's boiled enough, once all the flavors are combined within, then suddenly, wham, we emerge. And we are this absolutely amazing divine feast of information, of energy, of sharing, etc., etc. So as we allow our cauldron to bubble and boil and then even simmer at times, we're regulating how our energy is responding to that acceleration process. It doesn't do any good if we're not prepared and we're trying to run. We will trip, we will fall. But if we allow ourselves to run in little bits and spurts, and then catch our breath, give ourselves a pat on the back, and then do it again, it's kind of like when we do, for example, bodybuilding. We're not going to go to the gym one time and come out as Arnold Schwarzenegger. That just does not work. We have to be able to slowly train our bodies to know what to do and when to do it. Just like we need to train ourselves how to properly meditate, how to properly practice our personal yoga, so that we're not just doing a bunch of stretches and going home. We have to be able to get into the core, into the energy essence of what it is we're doing. And once we access that energy essence of what it is we're doing, what it is we're envisioning, then the answers start coming up from within about, oh, so if I want to do this, first I have to do this. So let's get that done, and then I'm prepared to be able to do this. And as we lay all the foundation blocks, we build ourselves this absolutely beautiful structure of what it is we're accomplishing. But we can't just sit around and expect someone else to do it for us. And we can't sit around and expect that we're going to be able to do it if we're not putting any effort in. We have to do the groundwork. A lot of times when people come to me, there's a retraining process that has to take place where I have to get them to understand that I'm not going to, give them some pill that's suddenly going to make them not depressed. And I'm not going to be giving them advice that they absolutely have to follow. I'll give them guidance, I'll give them suggestions, I'll give them tools to have in the bag, sort of thing. It's their choice as to when and how they use all of that stuff. So however long it takes is up to them. It's not up to me. And I also like to go with the organics of their intuitive process. So as that intuitive process is happening, organically they will know what it is that is the next step for them. Yes, we may have thought last time we were together, for example, that we'll do such and such, but they arrive and it's glaringly obvious that that is not what they need in this moment. They need this over here. And so that's what we'll do. And then we'll come back to that other thing. But if we were to try to do that other thing when this is still so needed, it will fail. That's all there is to it. It would be much like throwing, a 12-year-old the keys to your car and saying, yeah, you don't need driver's training, just go ahead, get in the car, start it up, take it for a spin. You don't do that. It can be dangerous. So gradually, we have to lay the groundwork so that everyone has opportunity to learn the skills they need on a very interpersonal level.